I promise you'll learn something from him. And with FlexPay and 30-day return policy, this is a perfect launching off pad to start any of your coin collector. And I know you're going to learn something. But now, we were talking about the first release last hour, or I should say, well, in that special core.
That's the early release.
In the early release.
Early release. And I know they can get a little complicated for non-coin collectors. It matters.
It matters.
Okay, it matters. When you have NGC, you know, when you do NGC Bridge Core, I mean, they charge a lot extra for that. That's a special designation, as is early release is a special designation that's exclusive to us. So this is what's called first release.
Okay.
So literally they charge less to certify the coin because these third-party companies charge a fairly significant amount to certify coins. So let's say you got a 2019S Eagle and you want to send it into NGC to have it certified. Now the certification cost is $24.
Okay.
But you have to send it to them, probably registered mail. So now that's about another 10 or 12 bucks. So now you're $36. There's a $10 handling fee. So that's $46. And then $24 to send it back to you, registered mail, as that fee. So you're about $70 to certify the coin. So that's what it costs to get in. And then bridge cores and all that stuff, which is exclusive to us, that's extra money. And so all of that is charged. This right here, though, is the most affordable version of this. Still, as you can see, still first release. That's still from the first 30 days. It's Proof 70 Ultra Cameo, as you can see, in the standard, what we call white core, or this is the standard core from NGC. Still comes with a custom red oak presentation box as well, that we have right here. So I've sold these one other time.
Okay.
I had 720, remember the bridge core I had like 2,400.
Right.
Okay, the first time I sold this, I think I had 700 coins completely sold out. I have like 500 or so coins, and that's it for this. Because now also first releases are now sold out. So now first release is sold out. So let's talk about this coin. So first things first. The United States government is making special proof silver eagles since Ronald Reagan signed the Liberty Coin Act into law in 1986. From 1986 through today, the United States government has been doing mint state coins, mint state American Silver Eagle, and a proof American Silver Eagle basically every year. The only exception is in 2009, they didn't do a proof Silver Eagle. There was a big shortage of silver that year. And so that is contiguous. So they've been making those proof coins and those mint state coins since 1986. They have been making another annual eagle, so the coin that's released every single year, what they call the burnished eagle, the special uncirculated version of the American Silver Eagle. They started making that in 2006. That traditionally every year, so they do 3 annual issued coins. In those 3 annual issued coins that you have right there, the burnished eagle is usually the rarest coin and therefore, in essence, the most valuable and the most collectible, if you want to look at it that way. So, this particular coin that you're going to have right here, 2019 San Francisco Mint. It's unique in a couple respects. Look, the United States government makes proof coins every year. They've been making them at the West Point Mint for a quarter of a century. They released it in January of this year. We sold several thousands of them, and I think our early release, first release price was $169.95. That's our normal NGC first release price, so you have that. Then, about 3 weeks ago, they decided to do this supplemental minted American Proof Silver Eagle. So they make not just the West Point minted coin, but they make another proof Silver Eagle, but they make these at the San Francisco Mint and they put the mint mark on it, which is a big deal. Only the second time that the United States government has done a supplemental minted proof American Silver Eagle. They do it in mint state eagles occasionally. They've never done it for the burnished coin, but only the second time they've ever done it in the proof American Silver Eagle. So that makes it collectible and desirable in that respect as well. The fact that it's only the second supplemental minted proof American Silver Eagle. But then this one goes a little different. This one I'm just going to impart upon you, I guess. I'm gonna share with you, let's put it that way. I'm gonna share with you information that we've been tracking. One of the things that we do is we track, US Mint information is in essence public knowledge. They release it weekly. We take that information and we log that information every week and we put it into our like I said, our coin war room, if you will. And that's plotted against basically the weekly sales of every coin released by the United States government for at least 40 years. So we anticipate, because these coins are what are called made to order, so they don't have a specific limited edition. The government makes as many as people buy.
Okay.
And so what we do is we track those to see if any of these coins have a trajectory of sales that should be significantly lower than other prior years. Because the rarest by mintage American Silver Eagles significantly affects the value of coins.
Yeah, sure.
So for instance, in the Mint State American Silver Eagle, the Mint State 2019 American Silver Eagle in Mint State 70, I sell for, I think we sell it for about $89. Okay, Mint State 70. The rarest Mint State American Silver Eagle, of course, is the 1996. Now that Mint State American Silver Eagle, I think the last one I sold here was about $10,000.
Wow.
That's the range, $90 to $10,000 based on rarity, based on mintage, based on the fact that the 96 Eagle's 10 times rarer than the 2019 Eagle. So, you know, that matters. The mintage matters, and then the grade matters. Well, we started plotting this coin, and you basically can figure it out after about a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
Because most of the sales of a coin are done in literally the first week, and then people just move on to the next thing. Particularly this year when the United States Mint is releasing, I mean, they're just releasing crazy amounts of stuff. They're releasing, I mean, 2 weeks ago they released 6 coins in a week. 6 different coins. I mean, there's times that they don't release 12 coins in a month or a year. I mean, you know, they release just a couple of coins. The issue, the coins on this are absolutely, I mean, they're releasing so many coins. And so what's happening is this coin's going to fall between the cracks. This coin's going to fall between the cracks is ultimately what it comes down to. Right, because a lot going on. Because all the other stuff is happening around it, is ultimately what it is. And so what I'm doing here is I'm selling you a coin at my regular issue price. But based on our 40 years of numismatic data and experience, I'm telling you that that rarity, so that proof Silver Eagle, the rarest proof Silver Eagle in 70 is probably 96 or 97 or 98. Those are all thousands of dollars. This coin will be significantly rarer than those coins in terms of mintage. This coin, as a matter of fact, is almost assuredly, I can't imagine a scenario, it's possible because anything's possible, a scenario where this is not the rarest proof Silver Eagle, regular issue proof Silver Eagle made by the United States government. I guarantee it's the rarest Mint State American Silver Eagle, rarer than any Mint State American Silver Eagle ever done by the United States Mint. And right now, it is rarer than any of the burnished American, which is always the rarest every single year. It's rarer than all those. It is currently the rarest annual issued American Silver Eagle through sales this week that the United States government Mint has ever done. Now, I'm giving you that information. I'm giving you the most affordable value, the most affordable view of this particular coin that I have right here. Only the second time that I have aired this in prime time with my absolute final quantities that I can do in this first release that you're going to have absolutely certified perfect. So not only do you get this fabulously rare American Silver Eagle, but you get it in perfect condition. You get it in first release from the first 30 days of its release, which is now basically, I think it's now past the first release. Now, once again, as I said, this is my regular price. I would charge this if it was the most common. Okay. That's the price. So all of this additional information, this 40 years of data, this 40 years of experience, and all of those things, once you add all of that together, I'm giving you all of that information, all of that knowledge at no additional cost or charge. So what happens is you're getting a spectacularly collectible United States proof Eagle, a fantastically collectible Eagle at my regular price that's collectible because it's only the second supplemental mint ever done by the Mint anyway. So it's collectible on that. And so that's the price that we're charging. If it ends up being the rarest proof Eagle, which is quite likely, if it ends up being the rarest annual issue Eagle, which it has a pretty good shot at, then all of a sudden the price on this, my price goes to on this probably $229, $249, $279. But I don't know that 100% yet. So if I don't know it 100%, I'm not going to charge you for it. I can't charge you for it, even though you're kind of in on the inside here. You have inside information. You have information that other coin dealers wished that they had. So you have that information right here, right now. On the at the very least, you've got only the second time that the United States government has done a supplemental annual Mint American proof Silver Eagle at the best price that I've been able to do in a proof 70 condition.
Let me ask you this, because I don't hear you say this very often. The early release from last year, you're going to add to your collection.
Yes. And of course, I'll have some of these in here.
Right.
I love the 2019.
Right, but then the first release as well.
The first release as well.
Okay.
Because you know, people collect different labels.
Right, okay.
And understand this one, like I said, this one, since it's the standard core, since it's first release on this, obviously these will still go in there. They still have value. I think the bridge core has a little extra value. As a matter of fact, it has about $30 extra value, is ultimately what it comes down to. There's no reason to not own both coins. I will own both coins.
Right.
For those of you that are just looking in, please do not confuse this with the West Point minted. That's the regular issue proof eagle.
Right.
Okay, we sold those at the beginning of the year. Those came out in January. We sold literally thousands and thousands. I probably 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 of those. I don't know. Tremendous opportunity on those. And those also were $169.
Sure.
Once again, I'm giving you all this. It's in essence speculation. Don't pay for speculation. You can go ahead and do that, but you're getting it at the regular issue price. By the way, we have the custom, our mahogany colored wood box that we have right here. See, look at that guy. I absolutely love this. I'm going to grab one of these and kind of put it in there. Check that out.
But you know, I asked you why, because I know you're adding this and of course that early release to your collection. I've been waiting to use the line all night. I'll have what he's having.
Okay.
I'll have what she's having. I'll have what Mike's having.
Yeah, and it's that important of a coin. I mean, I don't put all the coins in my collection. That's just too, that's just, there's just too many.
Right,
I mean, there's just too many coins. I mean, it's difficult. I collect a lot of vintage coins too.
Sure.
I mean, and so, when I add those coins to my collection, some of those are fairly substantial coins. I was just able to add a 1792 half dime to my collection. One of my favorite all-time coins. I finally found the example that there's only about 60 examples in the world of that particular coin. Apocryphally made from George Washington's silverware. It was the first coin ever made. It was the first coin ever made by the United States Mint. And the model for it also apocryphally was Martha Washington.
Oh, no kidding.
And it was made, there were only 1,500 made in 1792. About 60 or so decent examples of that exist today in the marketplace. Fantastic, beautiful coin. I was finally able to add one to my collection. I've been looking for many years to be able to get the correct example of that. So I'm happy about that. So, but I started with a silver dollar. Started with a silver eagle. Worked your way up to a 1792 flowing hair half dime. And you can do that. Red oak presentation box, of course, that you're going to have in here. Proof Ultra Cameo, so it's certified absolutely positively perfect. Our quantities, only the second time I've aired this in prime time. The first time I sold 65% of all the quantity that I was ever going to have. I had to wait to get them back from the grading company because I didn't know the percentages. Because even though I get the coins, when I talk about the rarity, I'm not talking about in Mint's Proof 70. I'm talking about the total existence of these coins. Only a tiny fraction of these coins, I mean 1, 2, 3% at the most, make it into the Proof 70 perfect holders. And so that's a critical part of your collecting too. Buy the highest grade you can afford, and at $169.95 we've made this affordable for just about everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, not just about everybody, because you don't have that many. But you see what I mean? It's kind of like insider information is the wrong term to use, but you know what I'm saying? It's an insight and information we wouldn't have.
I think
normally.
It probably is. I mean, I know what we know what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
we know what we're doing.
Exactly. I get once more. I stand by. I'll have what he's having.